Hello, and welcome to the 2019 Emergency Safety and Security Grant. I have a disclaimer for you. The free information we provide in this webcast is based on our interpretation of the grant announcement. The viewer, you, is advised that the publicly published grant announcement and the funding agency are the final authority on this subject grant. I would love to tell you a bit about myself. I am your presenter. My name is Sarita Gibbons, and I am the owner for Comprehensive Grants Management. I have been providing successful grant writing services for clients nationwide for over 12 years, with an average 65% grant writing success rate. My hobbies are reading, painting, gardening, and playing the piano. I would also love to tell you a bit about Comprehensive Grants Management, CGM. We provide additional value to clients by presenting free online webcasts, such as this one, about currently available grant funding opportunities. We are a grant writing firm that has been in existence for 12 years with an average 65% grant writing success rate. We have a full-time, full-year grant writing staff, and we provide grant writing services to our clients nationwide. I've provided our URL link below where you can visit our website. You will find articles, vlogs, blogs. You can see a list of our successes and the clients that we have worked with across the country. Today's webcast will be on the 2019 Emergency Safety and Security Grant. This grant is issued by the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and I've provided a URL for additional grant application information assistance for you. The purpose of the Safety and Security Grant is to provide funding for capital needs related to the safety and security measures necessary to address crime and drug-related activities at the Public Housing Authority. Safety and security emergencies include increases in the threat levels posed to the health and safety of the PHA's residents due to violent crimes or property-related crimes, either at the housing authority, the town and city, parish, or county in which the housing authority's public housing developments are located. The funding agency has stated that the eligible applicants for the Emergency Safety and Security Grant are public housing authorities, and the property type that the public housing authorities must propose to serve in their application to apply for this funding will be public housing developments. Unfortunately, Section 8 property types and all other property types that are not public housing developments are not eligible for this grant funding. So the property type must be public housing authorities. The public housing authorities also must be non-RAD. That means that you can have your CHAP agreement already in place that is signed and certified, but you have to exhaust all of this grant funding, this emergency safety and security grant funding, before you start your conversion activities from public housing to RAD. So this is very interesting to know because previously it was thought that if you have a CHAP agreement in place, you are not eligible for this grant. However, you can have your CHAP agreement in place. So this is really good news for the public housing authorities that have their CHAP agreement in place. But be very careful that you must not start your conversion activities from public housing to RAD until you have exhausted all of the emergency safety and security grant funding. I would like to share with you our list of previously awarded clients. We have been able to secure this grant funding for clients nationwide since 2011 to 2018. Comprehensive Grants Management is the winningest grant writing firm for the Emergency Safety and Security Grant. We have been able to win this grant funding for many public housing authorities. Even housing authorities have been able to secure the funding through us multiple times. The Huntsville Housing Authority in Alabama was able to secure this funding in 2016 for $247,367, and they win it in the very next year for 200 in 2017 for $195,925. A lot of time, housing authorities do not realize that you can actually win this grant multiple times as long as you propose to serve different public housing development. For this grant, you cannot propose to serve the same public housing developments. So those are the strategies we use to maximize funding for our clients, and we would do the same for you as well. Definitely give us a call at 813-949-2877 and let us get started on your 2019 Emergency Safety and Security Grant applications right away. You can also give us a call or send us an email at sarita@comprehensivegrants.com. Sarita is CERETA at comprehensivegrants.com. I would like to share our previously awarded clients for the Emergency Safety and Security Grant. So our company, the Comprehensive Grants Management grant writing firm, won for the St. James Parish Housing Authority in Louisiana $153,626 last year for the Emergency Safety and Security Grant. And here our clients are celebrating their grant award. They were most happy. We also won the Emergency Safety and Security Grant funding for the Kirbyville Housing Authority in Texas. They were awarded the maximum grant amount of $250,000. Here they are with, in this picture is Wes Bell, the executive director, and another staff member, and they are celebrating their win. They were likewise most happy too. Comprehensive Grants Management also assisted the Gallup Housing Authority. The Gallup Housing Authority is in New Mexico. They were awarded $250,000 for the Emergency Safety and Security Grant last year for 2018. Here they are celebrating their win as well. We wrote and submitted their grant application, and so we are the most winningest grant writing firm for the Emergency Safety and Security Grant, and we highly encourage every single public housing authority who is eligible to apply for this grant to give us a call so that we can submit their grant applications for them. If you have decided that you would like to apply for the 2019 Emergency Safety and Security Grant, please send us an email at sarita@comprehensivegrants.com or give us a call at 813-949-2877 and we will get started on your grant applications right away. The due date for this grant program is June the 5th. 2019, and unlike other grant submissions, it is not submitted electronically through grants.gov. You actually have to post mail it to the Office of Capital Improvements, and therefore they must receive your applications by the time they close, which is at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to remember that this grant program must be post-mailed through the postal system. You can use whatever carrier you want as long as the Office of the Capital Capital Improvement Office receives it on the due date by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is when they close their office, then the application will be on time. So please take very special note of that. The maximum grant award a public housing application can request is $250,000. This grant program is for 1 year. You do have up to 2 years to exhaust all of the grant funding, so that is really good. You can request up to $250,000. Remember, this can be per development. You do not have to request this amount for your entire housing authority. So if you want to think strategically about it, you can buy up to $250,000 worth of emergency and safety equipment for each of your public housing development. The estimated number of awarded applicants for this year will be approximately 40 applicants. Last year, HUD awarded 22 applicants, gave awards to 22 applicants from a funding pool of $5 million. And so now that they have doubled the funding to $10 million, the estimated number of awarded applicants is approximately 40 awardees. The eligible activities for this grant program, you can use the $250,000 to purchase security equipment to deter crime and drug-related activities that is taking place in your city, your county, your state that affects you. So you can purchase safety and security equipment. You can also pay for the labor to install the safety and security equipment. You must take note though that these expenses, they are a one-time expense, meaning that you cannot pay for reoccurring expenses like service plans, salaries, things that will carry on after you purchase the equipment. So the equipment cost and the labor to install the equipment, it is a one-time cost, and so you cannot obligate the funds for reoccurring expenses. Some of the security equipment that you can spend the funding on, a popular one is security system, which are camera systems. You can do fencing, and you can think outside of traditional fencing. You can do electronic fencing, remote fencing, fencing with key codes, or fencing with card swipe codes that you can use. And so you can use different types of fencing in addition to wooden fencing. You can use metal fencing as well. So think outside of the traditional fencing types that you can have a very fancy, creative, effective design that you will use for your fencing to deter crime and drug-related activity at your housing authority. You can also do lighting systems. So the lighting systems would have to be at your public housing development on your public housing development's property. So it is not street lighting, it's lighting that is at your property. You can do sensored lighting, so motion sensor lighting, so that as soon as activity starts to take place, the light will turn on. This will help to deter crime, highlight any activity that's going on, especially at night. You can also think about things like bulletproof casing. In some areas, there can be persons that will want to shoot out the lighting systems, and so crime safety equipment such as bulletproof casing to protect the lighting system is also an eligible expense for this program. You can do emergency alarm systems, you can do window bars, you can do windows, you can do deadbolt locks or any type of locks, you can do doors, you can do signage, you can do any type of safety equipment that you deem necessary and effective to deter crime and drug-related activity at your housing authority. There are some ineligible activities that you must take special note of because it can seem as if this grant would pay for these things because they are crime prevention expenses. And so it would seem as if you could spend the grant funding on these items, but the funding agency stated that these items are ineligible activities, which means that if you propose to spend the grant funding on these activities or any other activity that is not a security equipment and the labor to install the equipment, your application will get rejected. And we don't want that to happen. So make sure that you do not propose to spend the grant funding on these ineligible activities. You do not want to propose to spend the grant funding on patrol cars, salaries for your public housing authority staff members, even if they are a security personnel, security contracts or payments to local law enforcement for additional security. This is an ineligible activity. You cannot spend the funding on administrative expenses, and transferring safety and security funding to the operating budget line item, you cannot do that as well. So make sure to propose activities that are only safety equipment and the labor, the one-time labor to install the safety equipment. Maya Angelou said that the ache for home lies in all of us, a safe place where we can go as we are questioned. And that's the essence of the safety and security grant funding, is to provide funding for public housing authorities where they can purchase safety equipment so that they can make their public housing developments safe for the residents who reside there, because we all deserve a safe place to live. It's decision time for you, and I would love to assist you in making your decision to find out if you would like to apply for this grant funding. And so the first question is, are you eligible for this grant? If you are a public housing authority and you have public housing developments, not other type of housing developments, but it must be public housing developments, and you have not received this grant funding for this public housing development before, then you are eligible for the 2019 Emergency Safety and Security Grant. So that means you are eligible for the grant. Another question is, do you have a need for this grant? I believe that all community has a need for the Emergency Safety and Security Grant. You can never be too safe, and even if you have very low crime in your city, in your area, the fact that you have incidences of crime, even if your crime report is very low or small with incidences of crime, you can never be too safe. And so you must protect yourself from whatever criminal elements is out there in your area. And so every city, state would have a need for this program. The third question is, do you want to apply for this grant? And so maybe you are deficient on time or personnel or knowledge about the grant, but that is why our company, the Comprehensive Grants Management grant writing firm, exists, and we're very experienced in this program. So if you've answered yes to all three questions, then congratulations, because you are one step closer to applying for up to $250,000, which is the maximum grant award. I would like to remind you that the grant due date is June the 5th, 2019 at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is when the Office of Capital Improvements close, and so you must get your applications into them on or before June the 5th, 2019 at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You must post mail your grant applications to this funding agency. It is my pleasure to bring you the overview for the 2019 Emergency Safety and Security Grant. I highly encourage you to apply for this grant if you are a public housing authority with public housing developments that is a non-RAD development. Maybe you have signed your CHAP agreement, but you can still apply as long as you reserve your RAD activities until after you have exhausted this grant funding. HUD has increased the grant funding from $5 million to $10 million, therefore a substantially greater amount of applicants will be awarded this year than in previous years. Every community needs a grant like this because we all need to be safer in our communities. And so if your area is experiencing even low crime, you do deserve a emergency safety and security grant. Therefore, I was and I am very pleased to have presented this overview of this grant program to you. This is a wonderful grant, a grant that we have worked on for many, many years. We are the most winningest grant writing company in the entire country that has worked on this grant, and we are the absolutely best choice to complete your grant application. You can send us an email at sarita@comprehensivegrants.com or give us a call at 813-949-2877. We would love to hear from you. Drop us a line. Let us know if you would like us to write your grant application for you, or during this webcast, you can also leave a comment, a suggestion if you would like any expansion on overview, the budget, things, aspects of the grant program that you would like more information on from me during these webcasts. Your input would be greatly appreciated. Again, it was my pleasure to bring you this webcast, and I look forward to presenting my next webcast to you.